Okay, it's officially time for the next A to Z mini rework. My thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. Okay, so we are now on Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. I really didn't think that was just his name alone. It's just the Blind Monk. Damage, physical, obviously. Style, mostly abilities, actually. Way pretty true for the most part, but then there's still a lot of odd attacks. Difficulty 3. This is so very, very true. Damage 3. Yes, this is true, and it's stupid. Mobility 3. Yes, this is true, and it's sort of stupid. Crowd control 2. Yes, this is true, and it's stupid. Toughness 2. Yes, control, and yes, true, and this is the most stupid of them all. Because, you know, he can be a bruiser, and yet still one-shot you early game, and then sometimes one-shot you late game. Lee Sin is one of those people that can build pure tank or pure damage, and it shows, but won't make a difference for a first little while. A master of Aeonia's ancient martial arts, Lee Sin is a principled fighter who channels the essence of the dragon spirit to face any challenge. Though he lost his sight many years ago, the warrior monk has developed his life to protecting his homeland against any who would dare upset its sacred balance. Enemies who underestimate his meditative demeanor will endure his fabled burning fists and blazing roundhouse kicks. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, abilities. First we got Flurry. After Lee Sin used an ability, his next two basic attacks gain attack speed and return energy. This is annoying. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. Sonic Wave. Lee Sin projects a discordant wave of sound to locate his enemies, dealing physical damage to the first enemy it encounters. If Sonic Wave hits, Lee Sin can cast Resonating Strike for the next 3 seconds. Resonating Strike, Lee Sin dashes to the enemy hit by the Sonic Wave, dealing physical damage based on the target's missing health. Yeah. Safeguard, Iron Will. Safeguard. Lee Sin rushes to a target ally, shielding himself from damage. If the ally is a champion, they are also shielded. After using Safeguard, Lee Sin can recast Iron Will. Iron Will, Lee Sin's intense training allows him to thrive in battle. For 4 seconds, Lee Sin gains Life Steal and Spell Vamp. Annoying. Tempest Cripple. Tempest. Lee Sin smashes the ground, sending out a shockwave that deals magic damage and reveals enemy units hit. If Tempest hits an enemy, Lee Sin can cast Cripple for the next 3 seconds. Lee Sin cripples nearby enemies damaged by Tempest, reducing their movement speed for 4 seconds. Movement speed recovers gradually over the duration. That one really isn't that bad. And Dragon's Rage. Lee Sin performs a powerful roundhouse kick, launching his target back, dealing physical damage to the target and enemies they collide with. Enemies the target collides with are knocked into the air for a short duration. This technique was taught to him by Jesse Peering, although Lee Sin does not kick players off the map. I love the fact that that last little bit is out there. Okay, Lee Sin in general is one of one champion that I cannot seem to wrap my mind around, and one champion that I would definitely say if you can play him right, you are very, very good at this game, because he is just a good all-around champion. The other thing I hate about him is he's just a good all-around champion. It's so very difficult to play against Lee Sin, to play as Lee Sin, to just be in the same game as Lee Sin. Because, you know, whether you're on your team, you have a great teammate, but at the same time, he could be the most toxic little shit in the world, because I've had that. He could also be doing all these fantastic things all around you, and you're just sitting there like, cool, I can push one button as Annie, and that's all I got. And then you can be on the enemy team, and you could just have your face beat in by him over and over and over again. And then he invades your jungle and murders your jungle. And then your jungle flames you for not helping him, even though that he literally killed your jungle in the same time span that it took you to just walk down there. And then he war jumped over a wall. So now you can't chase him anymore. But, you know, cool. Your fault for not coming. But you should always try to help your jungle arrow when that happens. But yeah, there's a lot that annoys me with Lee Sin to an extent. So I think his Q is okay. It is pretty annoying, especially, when he just dashes to you. But like, he does need to land the skill shot in general, so dodging it or having him miss it is a great way to not get your face immediately pounced upon. His passive is honestly fine, but somewhat annoying. But in general, it is a completely fine ability. It's just the fact that each of his abilities are 2 abilities that makes it kind of annoying, because each time he activates that ability and reactivates that ability, he gains attack speed, essentially. So he's kind of like Riven, where you want to weave in auto attacks between everything you do, but easier. Because, with Riven, it's a bit more difficult, in my opinion, to weave those auto attacks. For him, he quite literally gains attack speed to weave the auto attacks. Riven does not. Riven, you have to auto attack cancel, which is very, very difficult. And then Safeguard, like, this ability is so annoying because, like, instead of, him being allowed to actually only dash to allies or something like that, he can dash to basically anything. Like a ward that he himself placed down, or an ally's ward, or an ally himself, or another minion. I think that this ability should be slightly messed with to not allow him to dash to literally anything, and that he has to dash to specific things or just something in general. But at the same time, that would kind of mess with him. See, a lot of this stuff would like really mess with his entire kit, even if you just tweak something small. So it's really difficult, in my opinion, to balance Lee Sin, because I'd honestly say for the most part right now, he is balanced. So, like, this ability is honestly fine, just doing damage, and then you can also, like, cripple them and slow them. This is just, like, to be completely honest, I think Lee Sin is fine just the way he is right now. I don't think that any changes need to be made to Lee Sin, and then I think that if you're good at him, you're good at him. If you're bad at him, you're bad at him. And, like, there are ways to play against him, and there are ways to play with him. And I think, in general, you just have to be a good player for Lee Sin, and he really doesn't need a nerf or a buff. He definitely doesn't need a buff, but yeah. Like, it just seems like every time I play with a Lee Sin on the enemy team, I get smashed. And every time that a Lee Sin is on my team, they don't know what the heck they're doing. So, it's kind of like the Yasuo mentality with him. But yeah, for the most part, you can really, like, Lee Sin is one of the few champions in the game that I'd say that you can 100% carry the entire game on. Like, I really don't think there are that many champions that you can 100% carry the game, but Lee Sin is one of those few that really can, and it's really annoying. But, yeah, he can very much easily carry the entire game. And, yeah, it's something special. So, if I was going to make any changes to him, like if Riot was thinking, we need to nerf Lee Sin at least a little bit, I would lower the slow on the second part to his E, just because. And I would lower the second part to his W. I would lower his W in general by making it different how he dashes to things. Or I would lower the second part to his W, where I wouldn't give him as much of lifesteal / spell vamp, because that really is so much more effective than you really think it is. It's so much more effective than you really think it is, and like I guarantee you, just it's annoying. And honestly, that's really all I would do, because for the most part, Lee Sin does take a ridiculous amount of skill, and I can't really justify tweaking things, because it's just so difficult to really get out all of his stuff. Especially in like a timely manner. It's just not going to happen unless you're really good. Now we got his skins. So we have traditional Lee Sin, which I really don't think is that cool, but it's okay. We have Acolyte Lee Sin, which I really actually do not like. I don't know what's with this skin, but I don't like it. Dragon Fist Lee Sin, which has to be like the world famous Lee Sin because everyone loves to play as him, and this has to be my least favorite Lee Sin skin that he has. Something Tai Lee Sin, This is honestly one of my more favorite Lee skins. Lee Sin skins. It is a good skin. Pool Party is also fantastic. It fits really well, and it's overall really nice. SKTT1 skin is okay, but it really ain't great. The Knockout Lee Sin is very good as well, but he really doesn't focus with his fists. I guess he does, like, in everything but his last ability, but, like, I've never really seen a boxer do a roundhouse kick before, so, and God Fist Lee Sin is just, it's so good. It's so good. I forgot that Playmaker Lee Sin existed, and I do not think it is good. It's okay. Where I'd put it, without a doubt, Dragon Fist at the bottom. I just don't like it. Then the second lowest would be the Acolyte. Third is Traditional Lee Sin. Fourth would be SKT. Then we actually do have Pool Party. Then we have Mutai. We got the Knockout after that. And then, okay, I actually kind of forgot about Playmaker. Yet again, Playmaker would be beneath SKT. Then Pool Party. Then that one. Then Knockout. And then God Fist number 1. God Fist is easily a 10 out of 10. Then we got the 9 out of 10, the 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and 1 out of 10. I hate this skin so much. But yeah, that's the Pool Party skins for. That's the Pool Party skins. Those are the skins for Lee Sin. Honestly, they're generally pretty okay, but his range from like best of the best to meh. And then for his stuff, as I said, like I really don't think that he does need any change. But if they did want to nerf him here and there, I wouldn't mind it. But I think most of his nerfs are just more of little tweaks than actually changing any of his abilities. I do not think Lee Sin will ever really need a full rework because his abilities are just already really good and really fluent, and just everything with him for the most part is pretty good. It's just kind of stupid here and there. But, yeah, that has been Lee Sin. If you agree, disagree, or anything above with Lee Sin that I have said, please leave it down in the comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And, thank you all very much for watching, and I am going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe and hit, yes, I'm going to say the thing, hit that bell button. So thank you all very much, and I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye.